It's going to be interesting trying to do this one today, but I've brought with my latest puppet from Wonderland Puppets, which will be on the blurb. I brought this one today because I want to talk about using puppets, not just in the way we have before about emotional development and so on, but this is about helping children with sign language. So firstly, you can actually do some signing with her, so you can do some sign language with the puppet. It's not as easy as with your own hands because obviously the fingers are a bit more chunky, but you can do things like, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So you can do it. You can finger spell, but you can also do other things. So you can sort of do the normal hello, goodbye, my name, and then finger spell out your name. So my name is Helene, Hélène, and so on. So you can do things like that with it, but you can use it for more. You can use it. I've used this particular, it was the school's one, this one's mine. I've used these puppets for somebody with situational mutism. So she wouldn't have done the movements even for head, shoulders, knees and toes. She wouldn't do the movements. Her movements are all very, really close. If you read my chapter in Selective Mutism in Our Own Words, you'll see that I've discussed how I worked with this young lady. But when she was in year 3, I got her to do the signs. So she was doing head, shoulders, let me get her feet up, knees and toes, head, shoulders, knees and toes, whoops, and eyes and ears and mouth and nose, head, shoulders, knees and toes. So she was able to do things like that. She wasn't singing, I sang it, but she did the movements. Now, although she wouldn't have done the movements without the puppet gave that sort of distance, okay? So sort of one step of distance can help with all sorts of things. I do that with puppets anyway. One step of dissociation will mean that children are more likely to open out. We've talked about that with the cat puppet and so on, where people will talk to the puppets and say things they might not have said to you as a person, but they feel more comfortable speaking with the puppet. So this particular puppet, as I say, can be used in all sorts of ways. Now, so sing and all sorts. You can do the happy birthday, once again. It's time to wish you happy birthday, time to sing a birthday song. You're 300, it's hard to do the numbers with this, 365 days older than you were last year, 365 days older now. So, you can do all these things. They're a bit more, there's less finesse in it, let's be honest. There's less detail, but it gives you a chance to sign with it, which distances you, or the child a chance to practice. I had a child who was severely hearing impaired, but she was reluctant to use sign language. She was only in year 1. Year 2, sorry. Her parents wanted her to learn BSL. She was reluctant to engage, but once we brought in, we had a very pink puppet. This is a much more, still trying to think of her name. I think Stripe is going to be her name, looking at those gorgeous tights of hers. Do you like her shoelaces as well? That was Pinky, and she was able to sign with Pinky because that was a game. So I would do a sign and then she would take, put on the puppet and practice. So she learned important signs like help. Help is a really important sign, help me or I'll help you, so I could ask her if she wanted help, but she could ask for help to come to her. Now, just having that puppet, it may not sound like much, but it is incredible because it just gives that removal, that distance, and that ability to, people can be quite self-conscious with trying out things like sign language, especially because with sign language you're supposed to be incredibly expressive. So if you're saying no, you don't just do the no, you do the no, you shake your head. If it's yes, it's a real yes. You know, you have that smile. If you're saying, please, whatever it is, your face needs to show it. Bad. You know, you're good. You know, show it in your face. Be that little bit over expressive. And that's quite hard for a child to do when they're already overcoming the fact that they're hearing impaired, or that they've got speech and language difficulties. It may not just be hearing impairment. It could be something like situational mutism. It could also be something like a speech language social communication difficulty. And having a puppet of a person can make a difference. All my other puppets, as you know, they're all animals, they're all very realistic. There is, you know, let's face it, she's not a realistic little girl. However, she is really useful for this sort of thing. The other thing about her, I'm just going to take a hand out for a moment, is, if I can get into her head, is that her tongue, you can actually control her tongue to some extent as well. And that can be useful if you're talking about tongue positions and things, if you want to show that the tongue matters for certain words, because it does. And that's really important as well. So you can open the mouth wide. You can also, for somebody with situational mutism, you can play with the idea of wide movements, big movements, opening your mouth. She may not want to, or he may not want to open their mouth for real, but actually getting the puppet to do it is a big step towards that. So, you know, the puppet's got the mouth shut and then it opens it wide, and then you can ask the child to mimic that, not mimicking you, mimicking the puppet. Puppets have so many uses, as you know. I mean, I'm always talking about them, but these ones in particular, there's a whole range of them, and it's the fact that they have hands, the fact they have fingers. When buying this one, I tried on, it sounds daft, like trying on clothes, but I tried on several different puppets, and I actually had thought I was going to purchase one of them, and then when I tried that particular one on, for whatever reason, that, you know, the fingers didn't quite fit my hand as well, and I found it really hard to do signing. Well, as the whole point of this was to be able to do signing with it, it was really important I could sign. So, you know, I ended up choosing this one partly because, let's face it, she is adorable. She's absolutely gorgeous. She's got gorgeously ridiculous hair, a bit like me. She's also got stripy socks. I wear stripy socks. You know, I could relate to her. And with puppets, that's also important. It's really important that you can relate to them, that you sort of feel they've got a bit of character that you can be a part of. Okay, so they just matter. They really matter that you choose the right one. It's worth spending the money. These ones, I won't lie to you, these ones aren't cheap, but they are well worth it. You know, the movement that my child with selective situational mutism was able to make with the puppet was the start of her being able to do that for herself without the puppet. So it was a huge step in the whole process. It was really important, and she related to the puppet and could actually engage with the puppet. The same for the one with sign language. We had all sorts of flashcards and all sorts of things that we were using, so to get her to engage with it, and nothing was working. But when I got the puppet, suddenly she wanted to do it, and she wanted to learn. She wanted to learn new signs, so learn signs of BSL for the first time, and that was a tremendous improvement. So if you get a chance, play with puppets first. You need to be comfortable with them. There's no point in just, you know, and again, you don't sort of do them like this, you know, you have them close to you. You have them so that you're ignoring them a lot of the time, and then just every now and then having a quick look and seeing that they're okay. You know, the same with the child puppet as with the animal puppets. That whole just checking in on them, seeing if they're okay, and then just letting them, you know, be people, be real. Even though obviously the face, let's face it, that's not a real face. However, it becomes much more real when it's engaging with you and when it's sort of treating you as though you matter, and you can treat it as though it matters. And, you know, with these puppets, you can take one hand out, you can still be engaging with it, you can look like you're giving her a cuddle, and then because of the way you move this hand, the other hand is also moving, and therefore it seems that it's more realistic. And children just forget that they're puppets. They know they're puppets. We don't ever say that they're not puppets. They know that they're puppets, but they actually start to forget that and think, oh, I like this. This is a character I can relate to. That relatability matters, because then you can get the puppet to be your friend, be their friend, and help them with their learning. Thank you.